here we are, just below the Dochu La, ready to start cycling across Bhutan.
I first went to Bhutan in 1986, and I've been going back there not every year but nearly every year since then, and I've driven across the country loads of times.
Let's go! Da joge! Joge joge!
And it's such a spectacular journey by road. I mean, it's absolutely, the scenery is incredible. And I've always thought, you know, this would be so much fun to cycle through here, you know. And then 2013, our partner in Bhutan said, hey look, we've got access to a whole load of modern mountain bikes. Why don't we do a cycling trip? I said, yes, of course, let's do the cycling trip.
The start of the cycle trip across Bhutan begins here at Drugyel Dzong.
The trip starts in the Paro Valley, and just a gentle ride up towards the end of the valley to visit the old Dzong, Drugyel Dzong, right at the end, where you, on a nice clear day, get views of the second highest peak of Bhutan, Mount Chomolhari. And Paro Valley is stunningly beautiful. It's a lovely, gentle ride to begin with. And then after that, you cycle up to the capital, which is, again, nothing desperate. And then after that, you have this big jump over the Dochu La. So we do that in a vehicle, take the vehicle up to the Dochu La, and then cycle down to Punakha. So the support is clearly very important for something like this. There is a vehicle that's always at the back of the group. And if somebody has had enough cycling, they can just stop, put the bike into the vehicle and take a ride for a while. And that's quite important on some of the height gains. We have a Bhutanese cycling guide who's got loads of experience and acts as a mechanic as well. So there's good backup. My worry was that people would think, oh, Bhutan, Himalayas, oh, this is going to be way too hard, you know, it's going to be, you know, only for the toughest kind of athlete.
I am so hugely impressed.
Can I stop here?
So what we've tried to do, and what we've done, is plan it so that a lot of it is downhill.
You need the back and the front brakes for this.
We've kept in some of the smaller passes and the less difficult ascents, but the really meaty ascents, you still have the choice of doing it if you want to do it, but I think most people would be quite happy with cycling downhill from the Dochu La, which is the first pass, down to Punakha, the old winter capital.
Just leaving Dochu La Pass now, on our way down to Punakha, some 30 kilometers downhill.
And that's absolutely fabulous, just 42 kilometers downhill. And it takes you down through pristine forest.
Fantastic, isn't it? Woo! Really brilliant.
Switchback roads. Excellent.
So what did you think, Karma? Was that a good trip down from the Dochu La?
It's really fun.
Yeah, over 40 kilometers downhill.
And we have just landed here in Punakha Dzong.
Fantastic.
From there you cycled through to Wangdipadrang, which is relatively easy, short ascent. Then along the valley towards the Pele La, and then again get into the vehicles to avoid the huge ascent up the Pele La, and go up into the remote valley of Pobjiga, where the black-necked cranes come, and where you have the fabulous monastery of Gangte Gompa. Nice cycling in the valley there, and then back in the vehicle over the Pele La, drop all the way down to Tongsa, which has the largest monastery fortress in the kingdom. A ride over the Kiki La Pass, which leads on through to the holy valley of Pumthang.
Entering the Chuma Valley in Pumthang. Not far from where the Queen's parents live.
It's not difficult. I mean, anybody who enjoys cycling could do this trip.
Same side of the road as England. That's useful.
The advantages of seeing it on a bike are that you have the wind in your face, you meet people, people shout and wave at you and you know, stop and talk, and it's just you know, a much more intimate connection with the country rather than being in a car driving across.
Give me that game.
There is loads of cultural interest on the trip. Villages, little townships, monasteries, chortens. I mean, one day I was riding along and we came to this village, and I could see this big chorten in the middle of the road. You know, the road goes round the chorten, and I thought, oh, this is good. Riding along, and suddenly this cow came out in front of me, and I had to swerve around the cow to get round the chorten. You have to go round the chorten clockwise to be correct and not to set the karma going in the wrong direction. And I did manage to get round the chorten in the right direction. And I remember on the other side thinking, oh, holy cow, Batman. Both departures that we do are timed to coincide with festivals. And festivals in Bhutan are of two types. The first is in the major towns, and they're held in the inner courtyards of the big monastery fortresses, or dzongs. And the second type are in villages, where they'll be at a local temple, and there'll be much more laid back, relaxed atmosphere. All the village people come out and they're drinking chang and gambling cards in the background, and the festivals going on, and the dancers and so on, and people are chin wagging, and there are stalls and, you know, markets and that kind of thing going on. The village ones have the same dances, the same ceremonies, but they're much more informal. Usually the spring departure is timed to coincide with the Paro section, which is probably the most famous festival in Bhutan. And it's a big set-piece festival culminating in the unfurling of this huge, great, 3-story high silk picture of their most famous saint, Padmasambhava, or Guru Rinpoche. And people come from far and wide just to set eyes on this thing, which is unfurled before sunrise. The sun's rays must not touch the image, so it's furled up again before the sun actually comes up. And people all rush towards it and touch their foreheads on the bottom of the silk hanging. I've been there many times, and I went this year and cycled most of this route and absolutely loved it. It was a wonderful experience, just a real challenge, an adventure, a great pleasure, cycling along the roads, you know, with the mountains in the background, and seeing people, and, yeah, lovely.